and welcome back to Talking DS. My name is Susan Sarek and we are on episode 2 already. Now this week you won't be hearing me talk anywhere near as much because we're going to be having our very first guest speaker. We're going to be talking to Rhiannon Downey Hurst, or otherwise known as Rio. Now she is a multifaceted entrepreneur and she runs and owns several small businesses in the UAE, and we're going to be talking to her about organising special occasions, keeping within budgets, tips on pricing and all things money related. But before we speak to her, we are going to be showing some exciting news that we have for you this week. Okay, so this week we have some really exciting news for you. We have some incredible prices going on in the warehouse right now from big international brands. Now we're going to be running until the 11th of August daily, including the weekends, from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. So make sure you are here for it. If you are not here, if you are away on vacation, first of all, you're very, very lucky, but we have got something very special for you. If you see something that you would like to purchase, then please send us a message through Instagram on some deals and we will send you through a payment link and you can purchase the product and we'll deliver it to you. If no one is in the UAE to be able to accept the product, we can leave it here at the warehouse for you and you can come either collect it when you come back or we will deliver it to you when you come back on your arrival. Another very exciting deal that we have for you for this week, available at somedeals.com, are these guest bags. Now these guest bags are only available at very limited quantities. They start at 140 dirhams each. Now if you would like to order one, you can do that through somedeals.com, and if you are not here during summertime and are on vacation, just send us a message and we can postpone the delivery to when you come back. My very first guest for this podcast this week is Rhiannon Downey Hurst, or better known as Rio, and she is a powerhouse of talent and ambition. And as a multifaceted entrepreneur, she owns and operates several businesses in the UAE, including Bride Club, Home Club. She's also a consultant. She's a business mentor, a trained speaker, a musical theatre performer, and co-owner of Hurst First with her husband. Please tell me if I've missed anything, but it sounds like you're really busy.
I am. I'm not a co-owner of Hurst First. I'll give that to my husband.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I helped him along the way with the marketing, but that's his baby. Okay. But we do marriage proposals as well with big proposals. It's all interconnected.
Correct.
So I'm not like... I know it seems like I do a lot and all over the place, but it's all like connected. It's a jigsaw puzzle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. The fact that you have
girls.
so much.
Yeah.
We keep ourselves busy.
Exactly.
Always trying.
Never a boring day, right?
No, never a boring day. That's for sure. Oh my gosh. Today I want to talk to you about, perhaps let's start at the beginning. Mm-hmm. How did you get into Bride Club?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good question. So originally back in London, I was in performing arts and theatre and acting, and with a lot of us thespians, the money is like this, the income.
Yes.
So often we kind of fall into sales or something, and I got into advertising sales and media sales, and the world was my oyster. I, was stuck in London. I wasn't very happy. And I decided to just send my CV off, and I got a call from Dubai. So I moved to Dubai. 2 weeks later, started a job at ITP Publishing.
Okay.
And from there, I kind of worked up the ranks and then was going to launch a platform for the performing arts industry. And then I fell in love and became engaged. So cliche. And I kind of realised there was a distinct lack of information for people planning their weddings in the UAE.
Okay. Can you give us a time frame of when more or less this was?
This was in 2000, and this was about 12, 13 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, actually about 14 years ago when I was engaged.
Okay.
Oh God, I'm losing my train of thought. Maybe 12, 13 years ago, yeah. And So I noticed this lack of kind of online resource information,
Yep.
what are the legalities of getting married here? How much do things cost when planning your wedding here? Where are all the venues, the suppliers? And I saw a gap in the market, and I've always
Absolutely.
been a little bit business orientated, always wanted to start my own business. So I went to the co-founder of the publishing house I was working at the time,
Okay.
and I said, how about a wedding magazine or platform? And he said, yes, let's launch a print magazine. I said, no, it needs to be online. Everyone's moving online.
Yep.
This was when online was just becoming kind of
Exactly. Like,
big, and Instagram and things like that.
yep.
So he was like, let's do it. So I didn't take a wage for like 4 months.
Wow.
He stopped my wage because I was working on a different publication. He was like,
Okay.
you make it work, then we'll talk about wages and things like that. Gave me the license, gave me everything. He was a co-founder. And we hit the ground running, started making money straight away. And but a year later, I went alone and set up Club Media FZE, because even though we were making money,
Yep.
it was small fish for that massive publishing house, right?
Yeah, for sure.
A little bridal website. And to be honest, it was the best thing I did, because it gave me freedom to spread my wings and really be creative.
Yeah. But how brave of you to go out and venture off on your own.
Yeah, it was very scary. I didn't know anything about the wedding industry, about online marketing. I had to learn from scratch. I met with like so many amazing wedding planners and professionals. I didn't have a mentor as such, which I really wish I did
Okay.
at the time.
Yep.
But my ex-business partner at the publishing house was very supportive and gave me lots of advice. He just let me spread my wings, and
Amazing.
yeah.
So you were looking at different locations for your own wedding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you ended up coming here to Dubai.
I did, yeah. So we were living in Dubai, and we were deciding, should we get married in Italy, because my husband's half Italian.
Okay.
In Sri Lanka, I'm half Sri Lankan. In London, where we're both from, or here, or one
Yep.
of the Emirates. And it was very confusing. And I was
Bet.
weighing up the costs of everything, and Italy and London were expensive, right? And you would think Dubai would be the most expensive.
Absolutely.
But actually, when we weighed everything up, it made more sense for us to do it here, because for us it
Okay.
would cost less, no flights. Wouldn't have to worry about kind of transporting things over. It's a good kind of middle ground for all our family to fly in from the various countries they are across the world. So it made more sense to marry in Dubai, and I'm really glad that I did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk us through, if someone was organising a event like, be it a wedding or an anniversary or birthday, whatever it is, what's some of the common mistakes for overspending in these kinds of occasions?
They don't set a budget from the outset. They kind of
Right.
just plan like willy-nilly, and there's no kind of spreadsheet set aside with everything that they need and budget set for each thing that they need. And it's difficult when you're a bride or a groom to know what things are supposed to cost, because I mean, hopefully you've never planned a wedding before. Maybe it's your second or third, who knows? But usually it's people's first wedding, so they don't know what things are supposed to cost. So it's good to kind of, ask around, get a feel, get a vibe for what things should cost.
Yep.
Because I was absolutely outstandard at the cost of flowers when I was planning my wedding. I was like, what? I
Wow.
can't believe it. But then as things progressed, I realized that it depends on, are they seasonal flowers? Where are they sourced from? So if you get flowers that are grown locally, it's going to obviously be a lot cheaper, right? Than getting
for sure.
flowers that, are imported from Holland and, things like that.
Yep.
And it depends on, the quantity of what you want and the style of what you want. So have an idea
Okay.
of the vibe of your wedding, the style. Do you want boho? Do you want classy? Do you want modern, eclectic? Like, what's your vibe?
Yep.
Because florists will always ask you that, and it's very difficult for them to give you a price unless they know what it is that you're looking for. So
Okay.
Pinterest is a great resource for brides to use for ideas
Okay.
and to create mood boards and things like that. And then, start putting a price or a budget next to each vendor or service you're looking for, and have a budget, an overall budget for your venue as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking earlier about that you're not only doing bride club, so you go beyond bride club, so you are always in contact with your clients afterwards as well. So you help them out with all sorts of things, be it an anniversary or date nights or whatever. So can you give us some budget tips for some date nights in Dubai or in the UAE?
Ooh,
Putting you on the spot here.
Dubai ladies. Don't like budget. I'm joking. No, there's loads of things you can do without absolutely blowing the budget. You know, obviously weather permitted.
Yes, that's
you
true.
can go, I mean, it's very typical, but you can go to one of the beautiful beaches that are free, the parks.
Yep.
Just get yourself, you know, some lovely food, yummy food from any of the supermarkets.
That's true. Just
be
a
creative,
picnic,
a nice
right?
picnic. You know, a couple of books and just enjoy each other's company. You know, look out for deals. You know, you should start this on Dirham Structure. Like, you should have little, like, you know.
That's a great idea.
Do you do restaurant deals and like things like that?
Well,
as well?
we try to a little bit with all the other projects going on. We're kind of strapped for time.
Yeah, no, but there's
you
always
can
some
imagine.
kind of deal going on
Absolutely.
with the restaurants, promotion. You know, just look around, search around, be imaginative, cook at home. You know, create your own little tablescape, candles, put the incense on, put the Marvin Gaye on. You know, like men out there, cook your girl.
That's a great
nice
idea. I like that
meal.
one. That's perfect. Doesn't cost anything.
There's
and
no excuse. Go online, learn how to cook.
yes.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
All the men out there, listen up.
Yeah.
All right. So can you give us perhaps some tips on anyone trying to save money on some big events?
Yeah.
Like,
So for weddings, yeah, for sure. Like,
Okay.
there are ways that you can reduce your spend.
okay.
Guest list is number one. And I know that's hard.
Yes, keep it.
It's very hard when you're from certain cultures, right?
Okay.
So the Arabic culture, the Asian culture are known for having big fat weddings, right? So it's very difficult to cut the guest list. I get that. But honestly, that is the first way to save a little bit of money, is
Okay.
to have a refined guest list.
Okay.
And not to invite, you know, everyone and their dog to your
Yeah,
wedding.
okay. So be very,
Yeah.
very picky.
Yeah, so be picky with who you have. You can typically get really good deals during the summer. So at the moment on Bride Club, we're running our summer souk, for example. So the summer souk is where a lot of our vendors are offering exclusive offers to our readers during the month of summer, but you don't have to be getting married in summer. As long as you book and pay for the service in summer,
Yeah.
you get sometimes up to 50% off.
Oh, that's amazing.
Photography, venues are doing amazing deals, which also include honeymoon packages with their partner venues, say in Maldives or Seychelles, for example. Have seasonal flowers, like I mentioned before. So flowers that are grown here. Get your favors, your stationery from here, or order online. You can get some great deals online.
Yep, absolutely.
Creating a wedding website is completely free for many platforms as well. So that's basically a site where you can have all your information for your wedding. You can even put hair salons on there for your guests, the itinerary, and a lot of platforms offer that completely free of charge. What else? You can rent bridal gowns. So if you don't want to
Okay, that's a great
spend
tip.
a huge amount on your wedding gown, and you know you're not the sentimental type that's going to keep it forever, you can rent your bridal gown for, you know, a fraction of the price.
And I suppose that also goes for every other occasion and like date night, anniversary, right?
Yeah.
You can be able to order, you can rent
Yeah.
an
Dragon
occasion.
Mart is your friend if you're a budget bride.
Ah, there you go.
I went to Dragon Mart and I got all my fans from Dragon Mart that I put on the chairs.
Okay.
I got my wedding favors from Dragon Mart.
Ah.
Yeah, you can get gorgeous gift bags from there. So we had a gift bag with like little things from all our cultures and stuff from Arabia as well
Oh,
in there,
nice.
and gave everyone that. So Dragon Mart has great prices.
Okay.
And a lot of the wedding planners actually go to Dragon Mart and use Dragon Mart. But another
Insider tip.
Yeah, insider tip. But another tip I would give is hire a wedding planner. Surprisingly, a lot of people think that that's an expense they don't necessarily need.
Correct.
I would disagree, because a wedding planner has all the insider information. They have the best deals with all the suppliers. They also save you so much time and stress and mistakes.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
They tell you from the offset what you need to budget for. So, for example, I didn't have a wedding planner, and I completely forgot to budget for sound and lighting and
Wouldn't
chairs.
have even thought of that.
Exactly,
oh,
right?
chairs.
So if you can imagine, you're outside, you've got very minimal lighting. It's just the kind of, you say you're doing it in a garden lawn, you're not going to have existing, suitable lighting so people can see what they're eating and
Yeah.
stuff. So you have to take these things into consideration.
Okay.
And chairs, yes, because nobody these days wants those nasty banquet chairs. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm
no,
sorry.
That's
Even
very...
Dirham Stretcher, agrees with me there, is that you spend a little bit of money on
Need to be
having
comfortable.
decent chairs and comfortable chairs.
Yeah.
So, chairs, sound and lighting, things like that. Just have a spreadsheet, and if you can, hire a wedding planner, or at the very least an on-the-day coordinator.
Oh, that sounds...
Which is what I had.
That sounds amazing. So I want to ask you another question.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people online often ask for a photographer, for a baker, or any of these kinds of requests, and they often ask for a barter deal, or their budget's extremely low,
yes.
and they can't afford very much. What's the best way to go around to approach some of these people without insulting them and saying, oh, you know what, we're going to tell all of our friends and neighbours all about you, and you're going to get so many orders, so you should do it for me for free?
Well, that ain't going to pay the bills, honey.
No, exactly.
So, listen, I'm known as being the barter queen, okay? When I first launched my business, my whole event was bartered, right?
Okay.
The DJ, the cakes, the venue, everything was bartered because I didn't have budget. But I had something tangible to give in return.
Yeah.
I had a whole year's worth of advertising to offer, a platform, free this, free that. If you are just a bride and expect a vendor to give you stuff for free because you're going to tell your friends, well, you're going to do that anyway if you love their service, right? So that's not a feasible reason
It's not good
to
enough.
ask a supplier to give you their product or service for free.
Yep.
I mean, if you're like a big influencer and you have genuine followers and you can provide a contract and, consider it, weigh up your options. But other than that, I would say approach them with respect. Just ask for their prices, and be reasonable and be fair. Some vendors do have scope for a little negotiation, and
Okay.
there's no harm in asking. If you really love their service or their product, and you really want it, but you're just a little bit strapped on, perhaps the budget. There's no harm in asking, right?
No, absolutely.
Are you able to give me a 10% discount, or can you do it for this price, and in return I can do this? All they can do is say no, but just avoid going to vendors and just say, for example, makeup, right? Bridal
Yep.
makeup.
Okay.
There's such a spectrum of prices being charged in the UAE.
Okay.
Some of the top makeup artists are charging thousands, and then you have some that will do it for 500 dirhams, for example. But then there are people out there that expect full-on bridal makeup and hair for 200 dirhams, which is a joke.
Yeah.
That is
Absolutely.
insulting, because it's someone's trade, it's their work, it's their time, their products, their service. Even wedding cakes, there's so much time and energy that goes into making these beautiful cakes.
Absolutely.
The ingredients and everything that they have to source, and it's worth spending that little bit of extra money on your wedding.
Yep.
Which is why I always say, don't have a wedding unless you can afford it. And if you can't afford it,
Yep.
have something simple, have something, beautiful. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It really doesn't.
So going on with that, do you have any examples for us of people who have celebrated big occasions
Yeah.
and spent and kept within their budget and had perhaps a really, really tight budget? Can you give us any examples of people who have done that?
Yeah. So, at Bride Club, we have featured the most extravagant, grandiose, like
I can
crazy
imagine.
million dirham weddings, and we have featured weddings that cost a few thousand dirhams, and we're on a shoestring budget. And one of the weddings that actually stands out the most to me, and that I really loved featuring on the website and really enjoyed interviewing the couple.
Yeah.
They were a mixed couple, so the guy was, I think, half Emirati, and the girl, I think she was from Kazakhstan. Sorry if I'm wrong, or Uzbekistan.
Okay.
And they had a wedding at Maison 15, which is like a cool little retro restaurant in Al Barsha.
Okay.
And it looks like a hut from outside, but inside is like really retro, kind of concrete vibes, and really good food, but very affordable.
Right.
So they had their, I think they had their wedding in the courts, which doesn't cost a lot.
Right.
Okay. And then they came back to Maison 15. They had maybe 25 guests maximum.
Okay. So
they
they
had the-
followed your rules with
Yeah.
keeping the guest list down.
Yeah, they had the whole place to themselves. So it was exclusive to them, but it wasn't a huge minimal spend because it's a small restaurant.
Okay.
Their friend DJ'd, so their friend was a professional DJ, and that was his gift to them.
Oh, nice.
So he was the DJ.
Okay.
She was wearing sneakers. He was wearing sneakers. She got, I think she got her dress online, but she had this really cool like fishnet. Like it was just very retro. And they had like a very sort of basic cake, but it was special to them because it was their favorite flavor. And the music was the key to them, and the food. Like they had local flowers that they picked.
Right.
So just the bougainvillea.
Yeah.
Pink bougainvilleas.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just, you could feel the energy through the photos. Everyone
Okay.
was so happy. Music was on point. The food was amazing. And they really didn't spend a fortune.
Okay. So they basically followed all of your tips
Yeah.
and tricks, and they must
Pretty
have been.
much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And it depends on the couple, Like,
For
I've
sure.
got nothing against people that want to have these big, crazy weddings. If you can afford it, and if that's what makes you happy,
Yep.
yalla, go for it. But if you genuinely can't afford to do these things, why are you going to put yourself into years of debt
Absolutely.
to impress everyone else?
No, it's not a good start.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's
Yeah.
not being money smart, that's for sure.
Exactly.
All right, well, that's really it. All the questions I have for you. Thank you so much for coming on and speaking to us with Talking DS. If you want to listen more and hear from Rio more, we'll add all the links in the comments to all your socials, all your websites, everything on there. So thank you, Rio.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thanks so much for having me, and I'm absolutely honoured. And I wish you all the best with this podcast. I
Thank
think it's
you.
much needed, and it's going to help many, many people.
I certainly hope so.
Congratulations.
Now, if people want to get in touch with you,
Yeah.
can you tell the audience where can we find you?
Absolutely. So we're very active on Instagram, so you can find us on @BrideClubME.
Okay.
We have our website, which is www.brideclubme.com, and then also we have our concierge, which is completely free for the bride.
Amazing.
That is 05859bride.
Easy to remember.
Exactly.
So we'll have all the contact details, all the links below in the comments. That's all from us from Talking DS. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you get the notifications for next time. Now, if you have any requests on guests that you would like to see, topics that you would like covered, please let us know in the comments. But until next time, I'm Susan Syrek, and this is Talking DS. Bye.